Hey y'all, welcome back to Between a Hot Mess and a Therapist, your not so typical self-help podcast for high responsibility helpers who are tired of pretending they are fine. I'm your host, Shawna Lovin, a seasoned therapist, Texas LPC Supervisor, 3-5 emotional projector, and a total tree-hugging auntie rebel who believes healing can be natural. Of course, with compassion and a little cussing. If you're watching on YouTube, listening in your car, hiding in the bathroom at work, or staring at your ceiling at 2 a.m., baby, I already know what kind of week you're having. So grab your favorite beverage, get comfy, and let's dive in. Last week, we talked about your human operating system, that maybe there's nothing wrong with your energy. Maybe you've just been trying to run someone else's operating system for most of your life. So today, I want to be able to take this a step further, because even when you begin listening to your own body again, there's something else that quietly starts to get in the way. The person we've learned to become. I don't think most of us wake up one day and decide, I'm just going to abandon myself. I think it happens slowly. A teacher praises you for being responsible. Family depends on you because you are the one who keeps things together. Your boss notices you always say yes. Your friends come to you because you're the calm one. And before long, those things stop being what you do. They become who you believe you are. The dependable one, the fixer, the peacemaker, the achiever, the one who's good in a crisis. The roles often start off as something really beautiful, but their roots are the strengths that you have. But over time, they become the cage that you live in. Because once everyone knows that you are the dependable one, it becomes really hard to admit that you're actually exhausted. Once you're known as the helper, asking for help almost feels wrong. And if you always have been the achiever, slowing down can feel like losing part of your identity. Not because it is, but because it's the role that you've practiced the longest. One thing that I appreciate about human design is that it helps you separate who you naturally are from who you've learned to become. It doesn't suggest that your personality is fake. It simply asks a question. What parts of you feels effortless and what parts were built to survive? That's a question worth just sitting with for a second. Because survival is an incredible creative thing. It was built, whatever version of you've become, because it's kept you safe. Sometimes that version earns A's. Sometimes it rocks the boat. Sometimes it becomes the indispensable at work. Sometimes it's the one that keeps everyone laughing. Sometimes it's so independent that no one even realizes that you've struggled. Survival isn't necessarily the enemy. It's just meant to become your permanent identity. It's not meant for that. So this is where human design becomes so interesting. I didn't think of it as a label, and I've talked about that before. I think it's more of a way that you naturally move through life. Some people are here to learn by trying things, making mistakes, and figuring out as they go. That's me. Others are natural observers. Some are here to be influencing. Some are deeply relational. Some need for far more time alone than in the world than what everyone else tell them they should be doing. None of these are better or different or than the other, but they're just different ways that we move through life. But if you spent years trying to live opposite of your actual natural rhythm, life starts to feel harder than it needs to be. Not because you're failing, but because you're swimming upstream all the time. The other piece I find fascinating is something called definition. You don't need to understand all the mechanics of it right now, but here's why it matters. Some people process life internally. They need a quiet before they know what they actually are thinking. Others discover clarity through conversation. Some naturally move through life with a strong sense of an internal continuity. Others are designed to experience connection as part of how they process the world. So imagine how much unnecessary shame we've carried simply because no one explained that to us. So how many times have you thought to yourself, why can't I just figure this out? Or why do I need time alone when everyone else wants to process together? Or maybe it's the actual opposite. Why do I think better after talking through it? These aren't flaws. These are just more cues from your body and how you naturally move. So as I've gotten older, I realized something. Every season of my life required a different version of me. Some of those versions were exactly what I needed. Others stayed along after they finished their job. I wonder if you have experienced this too. Maybe you're still carrying the version of yourself that got you through college, or maybe early motherhood, or building your career, or surviving a difficult relationship. She deserves more gratitude than you probably have already given her. But maybe it's not the version of you that is meant to lead the next chapter. Sometimes healing isn't about becoming someone new. Sometimes it's quietly thanking the version of you that got you where you are and then gently letting her go and fall into retirement. So this week, I want to leave you with a very different question. Not who am I, but who did I become because I thought I had to? And right besides that same question, I want to put, what parts of me have always felt effortless? Because your natural way of moving through life has never disappeared. It has been buried under all this responsibility, expectations, and survival patterns we've been living. They are still in there, and they're waiting for you to trust them again. So until next time, I'll see you later. All right, my loves, that's another episode in the books, and I'm out. Now, I need you to go drink some water, touch some grass, get a sip of sunlight, take a pause, and stop acting like your nervous system is optional. And yes, you are basically a houseplant with complicated emotions. If you needed this today, tell me about it, tell me what landed, hit follow, and send this to the I'm fine friend who is absolutely not fine, and you know who I'm talking about. And if you want to work with me, everything you need is linked in the show notes because Auntie doesn't do energy sucking DMs. Okay, love you. Bye.